Example of lead generation, basically a very wide use case. We also use it a lot in our each of our chatbots, and this is very important also. So as we understood that user when you're collecting information for various purposes, it is called as lead generation. You could be, the user could be interested in any of your product service, and you can ask them multiple questions by and by. So this lead generation thing usually starts without having any training phrase that catches the parameter directly. So basically it is a simple training phrase, and that is not going to catch any parameter directly. It could be apply now, it could be inquire now, it could be that I want to book an appointment. So it mostly starts that way, but also in appointment booking, also in appointment booking example, we said that I want to book an appointment for 4 p.m. tomorrow. In that manner it covers up. But in lead generation mostly it's all it's like you start with a plain sentence, and then you start asking consistent questions, and then you go on. And as I just told you that if you're collecting info one by one, it is called slot filling. So now let's see what kind of intent it is. Let's see this inquire now intent. Okay, as you can see here, the training phrases are I have a query, I am stuck, inquiry, inquire now, and the parameters are what I am collecting is name, email ID, mobile number, and the user query. Okay, so let's go and explore this particular intent. Yeah, so I'm here at the inquire now intent, and as you can see here, there are multiple training phrases just like I have a query. None of these training phrases are directly catching something on the parameter. Okay, they are not matching something on the parameter. So now what will happen here is we understand that all of the prompts will be triggered. Okay, I'm not matching anything from the entities or the parameters that I have mentioned below from the training phrase basically. So all of these required parameters will be triggered. Only required parameters are triggered. We need to remember that. If you have not ticked on the required part, the parameter is not going to ask you for a prompt or something, right? The parameter is not going to be triggered, the prompt is not going to be triggered basically, right? So let's have a look at this prompt for a while. The parameter name is name, entity is sys.ne. When you are collecting names, you should use this particular entity called sys.ne, because the person could put up with any kind of a name. The next could be the value is $name, and the prompt here is for sure I'll need to know a bit about you, please share your good name. Okay, so what happens here is, suppose I say inquire now, so this is the first prompt that is going to come up. When the user is going to reply to this, the value that the user is giving will be stored in $name. Okay, so I hope you are very clear with it, and it will point out to saying that the parameter name is so, and the value of parameter name is whatever the value the user has given. Okay, and as the user submits this, another question will be triggered. So these are consistent questions, these are consistent prompts that will come up until and unless these 4 parameters are filled in. Only then the user will get this particular answer. Great, let's go ahead. So now what we can do is we can actually use that $name in this response also. What we'll do here is that's a sweet name, $name. Kindly enter your email ID. So we can use these $names in the next parameters. Next is mobile number. Give us a way to reach. Please enter a mobile number. Very simple. And then so in mobile number entity, you can either create a regex XP entity. You can create it on your own, and then you can enter that as a custom entity, or you can use sys.phone numbers. It works for some range of phone numbers, not specifically 10-digit phone numbers, but yeah, it works on some range of phone numbers. Okay, so yeah, next is query. So query could be again anything. So yeah, perfect name, please let me know your query. Great. Once we do this, we have your response. Now you can see here there is written enter a text response variant. What does this mean? This basically means that when I'm saying something like that was perfect, I have registered your inquiry, I could also say that thanks a lot for your answers, $name. Okay, so now either this is gonna be triggered or this is gonna be triggered. I could enter up to 30 text response variants. Okay, and this is another text response. So first either of these will be triggered, and then this will be triggered. I can enter a text response variant here also. So something random from the above text response will be triggered first, and then something random from the below text response will be triggered on the second part. Okay, I think that's very perfect. So yes, let's save it. Let's see what happens. if I say here, let's start testing this intent out. So let's start testing this intent out, and if I say inquire now, so you can see it's saying for sure I'll need to know a bit about you, please share a good name. If I say Gautam, saying that's a sweet name Gautam, it has catched up my name, kindly enter email ID. Simultaneously what you should actually see is it catching up the parameters. We understand that a person cannot have multiple names, multiple email IDs, multiple queries or multiple mobile numbers, and hence we have not used is list in any of these because these are not multiple items, these are just single set items, right? That is what we are collecting. So it's saying that's a sweet name Gautam, kindly enter your email ID. I can just enter my email ID out here. That could be something like this, and now it's that give us a way to reach, please enter a mobile number. I'll enter my mobile number, something random, and then say perfect Gautam, please let me know your query. My query is so and so. Thanks a lot for your answers Gautam, someone from our team will reach out to you, will get in touch soon, goodbye. So yeah, you can see that it has picked up one of these responses here. Thanks a lot. It has picked up the second response from here, and it has adjoined it with the next response, and I can see all my parameters stored out here. Okay, so I can see that all of my answers are actually stored in the form of parameters. And now you can use these parameters, you can send these parameters to a database, you can send this parameter to Google Sheet, you can connect this to your database, to your CRM systems, so that you can get only the extracted values and you don't need to go through the whole conversation to get only this value. So most of the universities and most of our clients, basically they just connect this system to their CRMs, and then they don't need another dashboard, they don't need to see the whole conversation, because sometimes it's more about lead generation, sometimes it's more about conversations, and that is what you need to understand. What is the client requirement? If the client requirement is more leaning towards lead generation, you should actually lean towards lead generation and give them that API kind of integration. Okay, so this is how you can extract these values. We'll be learning how you can use fulfillment to actually connect this basically with your APIs or with some external systems and send them to Google Sheets or send them to a database. You should create both of these examples in your agent. Just create a new agent called test agent, and then you have to create both of these examples. Okay, and apart from this, you can use this format now in your assistants. So this is a wonderful thing. I think you have got a very good insight of how you can ask questions consistently and how you can use those values inside your responses. Thanks a lot. We'll be covering up context in the next session.